G'day and welcome back to my channel. Now, here we are in the nice new hobby room and it's all air conditioned, right? And I'm not turning the air conditioner off because it's bloody hot outside. Apparently it's dinosaur roasting. That's the apparent temperature. Yeah, that's right. It's like a dinosaur out there and thumper, Fred Flintstone's got dinner. Apparently, yeah. Anyhow, look, this is going to be one of my Gooch videos, okay? And these are made possible by my Patreons and my new YouTube members. That's the reason we got the microphone. Well, credit card really, but the money that's coming in now, the support, it's wonderful. It's really helped me out, and so we're getting new equipment. We're doing all kinds of things, okay? And there'll be an individual shout out to all those new YouTube members at the end of this video because they get my videos early, day or two early, advert free, none of those pesky adverts, right? They get specials like that interview I did with Alex, although I did share that with everyone, just so you can see the kind of stuff that my special Patreons and YouTube members will get. They'll get merch, they'll get all kinds of things. They get a telegram from the Queen. Well, maybe an email from me. There's a lot of stuff going on, so it's worth basically liking, commenting, hitting the bell notification, subscribing, or joining this channel for a lot more stuff, alright? Now, what's this video about? Well, this is the Unsold Gooch, and it's a horror story. It really is. It is a horror story. This is about the dangers of buying and selling model kits to your mates, to your friends. Don't do it! I'll tell you why in a sec. Roll the music. Yeah, it's down to 27 degrees in here. I mean, that's cool. Right? And that's the air conditioner blasting away over there. Hottest part in the middle of the day, I was fast asleep, had one of my naps. I was up at bloody 3 a.m. My hours are all over the place with all the stuff I'm doing now on YouTube. My mind's thinking the whole time. My brain's going, the whole two cells are totally engaged. Totally engaged. All right. Now, why shouldn't you sell your models or buy models for your mates? It's very simple. Very simple. Now, what I'll do is I'll give you some case studies. So, these are real things that happened to me. And you can basically decide for yourself. Now, certain funny things sort of happen, like Becker, right? The Becker. Becker finds this kit, he gets it for about 8 shekels, and he decides he's going to sell it. So he sells it to me as a bargain, apparently, for 9 shekels, which was still a good price, considering it was this great big bloody Schmit, and that, I knew that it was worth a lot more. So I've got it, and I've paid 9 shekels for it, right? And I hang on to it for a while, and I think, it's a bit sort of big, it's going to use up a lot of paint. And Bernard says, I've always wanted one of those. I said, you can have it, Bernard, 10 shekels. Bernard says, that's a good price. Bernard snaps it up from me. He's happy. Everyone's happy so far, right? Bernard's got it, and then after a while, he comes to sort of the same conclusion, and Becker goes, I'm after one of those Schmit bloody big things, I'm sure I used to have one. And Bernard says, Becker, I've got one. You can have it for 11 shekels. It's a bargain. Oh, says Becker, it's a bargain. You see what's happened here? You see what's happened? And this is not the first one. There's plenty of instances like this where the kits go around in circles and pop up again. And, and Becker, he doesn't use scale mates. Like, Bernard and I would use scale mates. We keep a record of what we bought and what we sold, what we bought it for, what we sold it for, the rest of it. And we've got that digital record there online or at any time, right? I've got a backup of it just in case scale mates ever goes arse over tit. Right, scale mates on the bottom of the screen. Scalemates is a wonderful big database of every kit that's possible to buy, how much they cost, second-hand, new, reviews, like all my reviews and everything go on Scalemates. And a lot of people find out about me through Scalemates. They look up a kit, is it any good, how much it costs? Oh, Harry Denny's done a review, right? Now, Becker has a spreadsheet, right? And this spreadsheet ain't real good because I've caught him up so many times. I mean, just recently, he was after an Airfix, would you believe it? He was after an Airfix Spitfire. And he likes the one with the wings clipped off, which I don't really like. To me, a Spitfire's got to have, big, round, pointy wings. Big, round, pendulous, sort of like old ladies' breasts wings. That's what I like. I like that sort of thing. And so he noticed I had one for sale on Scalemates, because you can sell things on Scalemates. So he's always checking my Scalemate list and seeing what he can purloin out of there, right? So he went, I want that. Oh, yeah, I'll grab that. Now, he'd forgotten he'd given it to me for free. At some point he had the shits with Airfix. He dumped the whole lot of kits on me, absolute bargain, and he threw that in for free as well. Anyhow, I had it up there for like 2 shekels. He didn't even balk at it. He bought it for 2 shekels. And later on I said, you gave that kit to me. And he said, yeah, it does look very familiar. And this is what goes on. Luckily, Becker's kind of pretty good about it. He just usually has a laugh. He's not too bad. But it wasn't this way the other day. Let me tell you this story, okay? Now, any sharp objects, put them down, because this may disturb you. All little kiddies, out of the room. Right? There could be some bad words. All right. So, if you've been watching the channel and the recent glass gooch and everything, you'll know suddenly I was laid off. My major contract that I had, which I usually keep a whole of December open for, right? They just gave me absolutely no no's. No, we're not doing anything. That's it. We'll see you next year about March, April, whatever. I was left high and dry. No work booked in, 2 weeks from Christmas, nothing, right? So I had no money. I had no money for rent, no money for food. Basta Cat was going to starve to death, okay? We couldn't have that. So I sort of had to do what I had to do. I had to move quickly. So what I did was I put up some Wingnut Wings kits, which are very popular, and I had duplicates, all right? So I had, a couple of D7s and far too many Sopwith kits and a couple of Albatrosses and something. And so these were kits that, okay, I had 2 of them. I could still build one, have the fun. I could afford to lose it. Now, these kits do sell for ridiculous prices at the moment, but all I wanted was some quick cash so I could pay rent. That was my aim, all right? So what I did was I had a look at what I paid for them. I added a bit to it, all right? I'm not going to say how much. Well, not much. Not more than 50%, all right? And I put them up only privately to my mates, hoping that one of my mates would see that it was a bargain and they would grab it. And 2 or 3 of them wanted it, but Becker came in first, and he said, "Got the cash, here it is. I'll give it to you on PayPal right now." Fubba! Snapped it up, right? Okay, paid about 5 shekels for 4 Wingnut Wings kits, which is quite good. Bernard then gets on the blower to me, right, on Messenger. He's going, "You bloody idiot! You imbecile, Harry! You're a dickhead, Harry! You could have got $1,000 for those kits. You could have done this." And I went, Bernard, I just needed quick money for rent, okay? And I got more than I paid for them. They're duplicates. I'm happy. No! And Bernard went on. He was invested, right? And I said, "Well, mate, you didn't offer." "Oh, I didn't want them. I already had those." "Exactly, mate. Exactly. You don't need them." "Yeah, but you shouldn't have sold them to Becker. Becker's going to take those and flip them, and he's going to turn them around, and he's going to get double his money back." Oh, he chucked a real bloody wobbly. I couldn't believe it. I had to switch him off and ban him for a while because he was just going off his tit. I mean, this is because we're mates. I know he's looking out for me. I know he cares, but they're my models. I mean, if I want to put them on the driveway and urinate on top of them, I can. I own them. I can do anything I like. I can defecate on them on a bridge and throw them in the river. It doesn't matter. They're mine, right? And anyhow, as it turned out, and Becker is actually a lovely guy. I've had my words with Becker over a certain Airfix incident some time ago, but we're over that now. We're sort of, the Airfix Tamiya war is at a truce. But anyhow, Becker said to me after he paid for them, I said, "Do you want me to post those down?" He said, "No." He said, "They're staying in your stash. They're on lease to me. And if next year your contract picks up and you find you've got some money, you just pay me back and we'll be square." And I said, "Oh, was some interest?" He went, "No, just what I've paid you. You pay that back, you keep the kits." So in other words, the nice guy was giving me a loan. And I was trying to tell that to Bernard as well. Bernard was going off his bloody brain. I was trying to say, Becker just loaned me the money. So this is the thing. Model kits, and especially the big precious ones, Wingnut Wings and mates, and there's all kinds of strange things that happen. You've got to be really sort of careful. You've got to be careful about also announcing what your mates have bought. Now, a few years back, there's a great big model show. I've probably told the story before, but it's worth telling again because it's a corker. We're at this big bloody hobby show, right? And Heidi, Becker's better half, right? She sort of said, "Well, don't spend too much, She always tries to sort of reel him in. And he goes and finds a gigantic 1/200 bloody Yamato. Now, the Yamato is big. I have a 1/450 Yamato that I just sold, and it's big, right? In 1/350, it's enormous. In 1/200, well, basically, you could surf on the thing, right? It's just... And this is one that you can motorise and everything. And he's got it. Hopefully, I'll find a pic and put it up here. And that should be the photo with him and Bernard at the show, at this big hobby show. And he's got this thing and he's showing it off. So I posted on social media, right? Now, his wife, Heidi, she's a Luddite. She doesn't like social media. Won't even do it. She says it's all axe murderers and perverts, right? But honestly, there aren't as many axe murderers as there used to be. Really. Anyhow... We thought we were pretty safe. Well, I thought it was pretty safe posting that up, and tagging Bernard and Chris and going, yeah, Becker's just bought himself a brother. He's going to get killed by Heidi when he gets home. I forgot Becker's mother is on Facebook, right? And she's actually in my friends list. I forgot at some point I friended her. So she got to see that. And of course, she got onto the telling bone. Hey, Heidi, guess what? Your son, or no, your husband, my son, he's just bought this great big enormous bloody plastic thing. Oh. Anyhow, when we got back from the show, because we were together in the car, Becca and I, when we got back from the big model show, Heidi is standing at the top of the stairs. and I lost my voice. I got so upset. I mean, she's terrifying when she's on the bloody, you know. And she's a lovely lady, Heidi. I've got a lot of time for her. She's really lovely. But, yeah, she can be fearsome. So I lost my voice. I couldn't speak. I've got... She's going, you can come in. I want the two of you in here. We're going to sit down and have dinner. And I'm going... So I just sort of hopped in my car and, like a complete bloody, you know, chicken, sneaked home. And Becca had to face the music. I mean, he brings it on himself. There was a time I was round there at his place. And the delivery guy turned up, right? I went, Chris has got a delivery. And Heidi says, they're yours. What? And the thing was, what Becker had been doing is, you get a discount if you spend so much at most of these hobby stores, right? So he was always sort of getting close. And then he'd say to me, do you need something? I just want to throw up my order, you know, I'll get free postage. I go, okay. So I'd add one little thing, 1 or 2 shekel thing, bump him over, get him his free postage, and then I'd have to go around his place, he didn't live far from me then, and pick it up. And what he was doing was he's saying to Heidi, all these orders are Harry's. Yeah, that came in, that's Harry's model, because he's not lying, that model was mine. But in this particular instance, he pushed it a bit too far. The box came in, I went, I don't remember ordering anything, better have a look inside. So we opened up, it was from Hobbylink Japan too, which normally I wouldn't. Not much I want from Hobbylink. We opened it up, and it's not even models. It's just all bits of brass and resin and just all kinds of stuff for building Star Wars and spaceships. And I think he was building a great big giant bloody battleship cruiser thing for the next QMHE meeting. I looked at it, thought, and I said, Heidi, I've got to get home. I'm afraid of Heidi. So I disappeared. Becca came home. He had to face the music. Why did you get this big box? Why did you say Harry? And after that, I stopped letting him buy anything for me because it was just too bloody dangerous, okay? Now, the last example I'll give the sort of difficulties with mates and buying things and doing stuff, right, is the duck, okay? Now, the duck's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. But he's not rich. No, he's not rich, you know. He's just an old bugger like us, and he's just, you know, living on what he's living, and he's doing all right. He's okay, you know. And so I kind of help the duck out every now and then and, you know, and sort of give him a kit or discount something down. I had a really big motorboat. You'll probably know the one I'm talking about. A great big British motorboat, you know, torpedo motorboat. And I'm the nerd about selling it because it was kind of big, but it really wasn't. It's no longer than this Schnell boat, really, because that motorboat is quite small in reality. So even though it was a very large scale one, it really wouldn't have been that big. Anyhow, long story short, I let him have it for a very reasonable amount with all the photo etch and with everything and all the rest of it. And I really regretted it afterwards, and I was kind of a bit grumpy about it. And then he rang up and he was being stupid about something, and you know, like you do when you're sort of festering something deep inside, and you know, and you want to say, gee, that's nice, but instead you say, fuck off, you're a Clint Eastwood. And we had a big falling out over that. And you know, basically I was just angry at myself because I really shouldn't have sold that. The reason is, straight after I sold it, I thought, I'll buy another one, won't be a problem. You know, one day I had a look, and you can't get them for love or money. And I didn't know that. He knew that. He knew that that was something that was worth a lot of money. It's not the money so much. It's just the fact that I had that in my stash, and you know, it's something that I would have enjoyed and built. But I let it go. It's all my problem, right? It's entirely my issue. But again, this put some bad blood between us. So, you know, and there's been wars about Tamiya and Airfix and buying those sort of things with Becker, and you know, and now this whole kerfuffle with Bernard. I must say to prelude that with Bernard, we did go to the drive-in a few days beforehand, and drive-ins aren't what they used to be. I mean, there was no kissing, there was no cuddling. No, Bernard and I, we don't do that in our relationship anymore. We've never done it. No, you know, Bernard might be gay, but I'm not. Anyhow, drive-in. I don't think they had changed the bulbs and projectors since the 1960s, right? And we're watching June, and June's got a lot of dark scenes. So there's a black background with black, sort of scenery and then black objects and black people, and everything was black with black shadows. I got in to see a freaking thing. I had to actually take my glasses off because I have to wear long-range glasses. You know, I've got when I'm driving or if I'm at the cinema normally, and I thought the driving was the same. Taking the glasses off at least upped the amount of light that was coming in, and still it was dark grey on dark grey with a dark grey background with a bit of black and dark grey shadows. Couldn't see anything. I'd actually listened to the whole of June. I'd got the audio book and I'd sit and listen to it. And sitting there for those 2 hours in Bernard's car, and you're not allowed to talk. Bernard would not allow me to talk in the car. It's pretty funny like that. Not allowed to mention a word, not allowed to do anything. So I got to sit there, absolute quiet for 2 hours, and all I could do was listen to June. So I still haven't seen the movie. I've heard it. I can recommend the soundtrack, right? Soundtrack's good. The acting sounds good. I got no idea what it looks like. So we both sort of left that. It was a late session. We didn't get home till way after midnight seeing as June. There was more to it. It was raining and all kinds of things that went wrong. I mean, basically, drive-ins are just not what they used to be, right? Just not what they used to be, you know. They were just for rooting. Yeah, you didn't have a place of your own. That's what a drive-in was for. Great. Great when I was a teenager. So these are my reasons, okay? I have, you know, fallen out with my friends, and it's always about selling models. It's always about selling models. It's always about, you know, why... Look, you can see it. It's upsetting me. It is. I'm just nearly crispness, and you know, and I've got mates who won't talk to me, and it's all because of we bought and sold models. So don't do it. Don't you do this yourself. Don't ruin your life. You know, it'll stuff your mojo. You won't be able to build your kits because you're too upset because all your mates hate you because you sold that kit to somebody else and he would have bought it. Oh, for God's sake! Why don't you all just grow up? All right, that's it. Now, here is a list of all the wonderful people that basically are now my YouTube members, okay? You can read them because I haven't got it with me and haven't got my glasses. I sort of didn't think this through. But there they are on the screen, okay? Bunch of really good guys. It's about a dozen. And these are the guys I'm going to remember forever because you're my first. The same as Patreon. On Patreon, there's some that started with me from the start. No matter what happens with them, I always look after them. Even if they say, Harry, can only afford $1 this month, that's fine by me. They're in. They're for life. They helped me out when things were tough, and they've helped my channel. Now, my channel has jumped. My monetization has done everything I wanted. It looks like I might have a meagre income out of this, which is what I was trying to achieve. I'm not going to be rich. No, I'm not going to be rich. I don't have to be. I just got to pay the rent, feed the cat, you know, make sure that I can buy enough compressed air for Bertha, keep her inflated, right? And that's it. That's all I need. And I think, basically, all those targets have been met. All right, that's enough. As I said, like, comment, subscribe, do all those sort of things. And, you know, if you do comment, just be nice about it. Hit that bell notification like that'll tell you when my videos are available. And if you can afford a few shekels, hit the join button because you will get a lot more Harry Houdini. Okay, it's goodbye from Australia, and it's hooroo from Harry Houdini.